well done. Much better. And that's all I gotta say. The thumbnail that I put in for this video is my exact expression for this episode right here. As much as I completely shitted on Release the Spyce episode 1 last week, as much as I criticized it, saying how bad it was when it came to the characters and the introduction and stuff, like, it was just terrible to me. It felt forced. This episode 2 restored my faith right here. It really did. Because you don't understand how much this was an obstacle for me to overcome. I'm a big fan of Takahira's work. And to see episode 1 the way it was, and the way I had so much expectations in this show, and then episode 1 just completely just crumbled it all away. But I always do my 3 episode rule for anime every single time. And thank God I have that rule, because episode 2 it redeemed itself. It was way better. Like I said, usually it's like with Goblin Slayer. Episode 1 is always an introduction episode. It don't tell you everything. It gives you just enough to tell you what you're in for. Now, episode 2 is always the explanation episode. It's always like that. The situation they're in and their goal. That's how it usually is with these kind of shows. And my God, Release the Spyce episode 2 was it was awesome. I loved it, man. Let's talk about the intro. That freaking intro, man, it was so upbeat. It was amazing. I was just, rocking my head back and forth. I would listen to it like, yeah, I can get into this. Yeah, good intro. And then the music within the show, man, the background music, it kept you pumped up, man, as things were going on. Like, oh yeah, man, you can hear the DJ in the background playing that good music. It was fantastic. Good music. I already said that the art direction and the animation was already top notch from last episode, and it was still just as amazing as it was in this episode as well. The characters are slowly, showing themselves better than they did last episode, but the main focus was on Momo-chan and Yuki as mentor and apprentice. So let's talk about the structure of this whole entire base, the Sekukagi. The Sekukagi, I mean. It's an organization that was created many years ago that started out with a woman who founded it by trading spices. And if you guys don't know about the great spice trade from back then, where pioneers were trying to make connections and build bridges to other countries and colonies by trading their goods and resources you can't get anywhere else but only in your own homeland. Stuff like clothes and fabrics, fruits and vegetables, animals, and of course spices. Because you can't just have food without some good spices and seasonings to go with it so it can just taste delicious. So in a way, they use the spice trade as a way to make connections to other countries, to realize there was corruption and crime syndicates going on. So through this, they would create an organization to stop these evil crime syndicates, and that's how the Sekukagi was created. And Momo-chan, who wishes to protect her city, now wishes to become part of this group, but she has a lot to make up for. I like how in this show, in most shows, where a character is being introduced to something, everyone's saying, yeah, you got great potential, and they're already kicking butt and stuff like that, even though they just got introduced into this new kind of world. It wasn't like this for Momo-chan. Momo-chan was an athletic or a very sharpened person. So I like the training regimen was in here, in a way like how it was with Deku in My Hero Academia. Deku had potential to be a hero, but he needed to be trained. He didn't just start off being, yeah, I'm a kick-ass hero now, now let me go to school and prove everyone how awesome I am. No, he had to work for All For One, in the same way as Momo had to work to join this organization. It was amazing. And of course, I know from last time I was complaining about how the utensils look all cute and stuff, and I like, no duh. That was made so that the spy utensils look like everyday items. I'm like, dude, come on, man. You've seen spy shows and movies. You've seen Kim Possible. You should know that by now. The best kind of spy gadgets are the ones that look like everyday items. And that's just how it is, man. So I had a better appreciation that they did that. Still, I wish they would wear masks on their jobs so in case any organization will try to come after them, they can't identify them because, mask would make more sense. But this is something I just have to let go for now, okay? Now, with this episode, why this episode made me restore my faith? It was the character development of Momo and Yuki and some of the other characters as well, including Fu and Michan. They were supporting characters, but the main target, of course, was Momo and Yuki. Of course, like I said before, Momo had no talents at all when it came to this. She was less than a rookie. So I like how it started out, how she sucked at everything, which is normal. It's like basic training. You go in, you're not going to know what to expect. You can expect the usual training regimen, but then again, your drill officer will put in other things you don't see coming. That's exactly what happened with Momo-chan in this episode, She was drinking the tea, and then she fell out. Then she was falling for Fu-chan's disguises, saying, you need to be prepared all the time as a spy, as a ninja. You need to suspect your food to be poison. You need to suspect the person you're talking to is not who they seem to be. And you can tell that by their height, by their waist, by their width, by their length, by the way they talk, the way they act. And of course, speaking of that, I love how it didn't just focus on just ninja training just by training your body and stuff like that, like they did in Naruto. They also did some mental training as well, like change who you are, try to become somebody else. Like, how Yuki senpai always had a serious look on her face, how she had no emotion, but yet when it came to training, she was able to act like a tsundere or cry and stuff like that, act like very feminine. And Momo had to hide her emotions because she's a very emotional person, so Momo had to work on hiding her emotions. She also had to work on talking to people, social skills. They realized that Momo was a very shy girl and she's not very confident in opening up to other people. So every day she would be there, she said, try to know something about somebody you see every day. Just walk up to somebody and talk to them. So you'll be more sociable, so you won't stick out like a sore thumb. Like, yo, you don't see this kind of training in not that many anime, hell, even manga. I was like, wow, they literally were thinking of every single thing of what it means to be a spy, from disguises, to mental training, to talking to people, to hiding your emotions, to becoming somebody else, acting like somebody else. And of course, being ready. Like, Yuki was attacking Momo every single time, man. She was attacking her when she was walking, when she was running, even when she was in her own bed, man. I love the part where she opens the door, she's just crawling on the floor and just puts the freaking stamp on her head. And she just jumps out the window, like, be ready at all times. And jumps out. The episode had me rolling, those kind of scenes like that. Like, I love how serious she took the training. And I liked how her development was with this. At first, she was tired, sore, she had stamps all over her face. She couldn't handle it, but as time goes on, she wasn't feeling as sore anymore because her body was used to the training. And the more she did, the more adaptive she became. So later on, she started to catch on to things, like she had to make sure her body reacts before her brain is. Because sometimes, like I said, people can be very smart and very strategistic and have skills, but sometimes our brain will move faster than our bodies will. And because of that, we won't have time to react. So that's where you need to learn to have your body to move before your brain does. So like, for instance, someone throws it like in dodgeball, you're not paying attention, the ball's coming, and out of nowhere, you can feel the ball coming at your body. Like hear something, then you dodged it. You weren't even thinking about dodging. You just automatically do it because it's something like you do, like walking, breathing, and stuff like that. It's automatic. So they're, in a way, ultra instinct. But nah. And I also liked how, in this episode, while they're doing the training, another thing was happening on the side. It seemed like some type of other organization was up to something about a traitor, and they're ready to post this operation. So you have two things on the side. You had Yuki and Momo's training, and at the same time you had this other organization doing their little deed. So it won't be no episodic thing. This will be a nice story-driven show. So I'm just happy. You won't believe how relieved I am right now for this, because I really wanted the show to be good, and episode 2 redeemed it all the way. So that's why I'm just relieved right now. I am happy, extremely happy, how the show turned out right now. And at first, I was watching a video yesterday on Mother's Basement and how he recommended the anime based off only the first episode. I'm like, really? Really? Like, I'm a fan of Takahiro's work too, but I felt like the first episode sucked. In my opinion, it sucked. But episode 2, I was sluggish. I'm like, okay, let's get this over with. Let's watch this. And then when I watched it, I'm like, wow, it was... okay, I went on long enough, okay? I need to end this video now because it was a fantastic episode. Now I can one more episode though. Remember the 3-episode rule. If the next episode goes well, then I will recommend this show to people. Only if the 3rd episode goes well. Because I always give a show 3 chances. So let's see what happens. Fingers crossed. Because the 2nd episode was amazing. And who knows, it could get better from here. Or not, maybe not just a one lucky strike. Who knows. Anyway, that's all I got for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys will try to watch this episode. I know some people in the comment section said that they were disappointed episode as well. So if you're watching this from my last video on Release of Spyce, please give episode 2 a try. I'm begging you. Because episode 2 completely makes up for it. This is me who's saying this crap, man. Like, god damn, it's good. So anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and of course, hit the bell icon so you get notified every time I upload. This has been Madcrownxox, and I'm signing out. Have a good one.